Good evening and welcome to the Single Mom KC's Sunday Reset. My name is Dawn Kappelman and I am a single mom. I have 3 children. I have 2 that are twins, Kyle and Kaylee. They're in college, and then I have an older daughter who's married and has my first grandbaby, and I have been a single mom the majority of my life. And I want to share with you and start a series with you, finding hope and really digging into Psalms 23. And, when I think about Psalms 23, really, it's probably the most popular passage in the Bible. And my memory of it as a young child was I remember memorizing it. I must have been quite young because it was really hard. I had to work really hard at it. And I remember reciting it by memory and just feeling like it was such an amazing accomplishment. It's probably one of the first things I remember memorizing as a child out of the Bible. And as I became a single mom and I read Psalm 23, it really began to take on a whole new meaning for me. And that's what I want to unpack with you over the next 6 sessions and really show you as a single mom how Psalms 23 can provide you hope, it can provide you healing and comfort during difficult times. So when I think back on my own journey as a single mom, and if someone was to ask me, how did you do it, Dawn? How did you raise your kids and, get them off to college? And my oldest is married with a family. My first response would always be my faith in God. It was my faith in God that really, really got me through, and I was able to raise my children the way that I could. And I remember the moment in time when I just gave up and I said, you know what, God, I'm giving it all to you. And I remember that moment so well, and it changed my life forever as a single mom. And so that's why I want to really dig into this and share, because there's so much in this psalm that can really bring you a lot of comfort and hope. And I want to share that with you. So when we look at Psalms 23, it was actually written by David. David was actually as a young child was a shepherd, and then later in life he became the second king of Israel. And it would appear that he had it all, but then his kingdom started to come down. He was having a lot of issues. His son was trying to kill him. It was a very difficult time, and so David wrote this Psalms, and he wrote about his trust in God during that difficult time. And I know it's not easy for us as single moms, and I know we feel hope. We don't feel hope a lot of times, but there is hope, and their hope is in God, and that's what I want to share with you tonight. So we're going to really dig into the first verse, Psalms 23:1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So what does it mean when it says the Lord is my shepherd? And I think to understand that, we need to look at what is the role of a shepherd to its sheep. First of all, the first role is the shepherd is there to protect them. And they're very different than a hired worker. They will lay down their life. They are with them 24/7, and they know each of their sheep very intimately, so much that when sheep hear their voice, they know that they can trust the shepherd. The second thing that he does is he leads and guides the sheep. Sheep as animals cannot be left by themselves, and they won't last very long. In fact, they are hopeless without a shepherd. They're 100% dependent on the shepherd for everything. They require constant care and watch, and they can't be left unattended, or it will put them in great risk, and it becomes very dangerous for their life. So did you, and even with along this line is that sheep, as you know, as a shepherd guides them, I mean, they literally will not walk into water unless they are led by the shepherd. So they won't even go near it unless they are led by the shepherd. And the third thing that the shepherd is he's their provider. So he provides them all their food and the water and the safety, and takes care of them. So again, you know, those are some of the roles of a shepherd. So to, you know, as we understand those roles, those are the same things that God can do for us as our shepherd. Is one, he is our protector, and he'll protect you from everything, and he will always have your back. He is our guide, and all we need to do is follow him, and we will, and really, honestly, we need God to stay on the right path. I don't know about you, but I've gotten off path several times in my life, but God always brings me back. And it can be really difficult to depend on God 100% of the time. And God understands our human tendencies. As humans, we want to control everything. We want to control the narrative, and we want it to do it our way. But the true way to find hope and peace and healing is we have to rely on God 100% of the time and give it all to him. Lastly, God is our provider. As believers, we need spiritual food to keep us healthy, and God provides that through his word and during our time of prayer with him. It's through his word and prayer that we can begin to deal with all this pain and this hurt and loneliness as a single mom, and we face it, so much of it. And I know there's so much pain out there with all of you as you are tackling and taking on this huge task as a single mom. So what does it mean when they say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want? So when you think about it, we live in a generation where everybody always needs more. You know, we never have enough. And we never feel like we have everything we need. We always need a better house and a better car. We don't have all the clothes that we want, or we don't, you know, get to do the things that we want. But it's really important to know that I shall not want means you aren't going to get everything you want. But what it really means is God will provide you with everything that you need. God will provide you with everything you need. And that, you know, we may look at it differently. And you may be someone, you may want to get married. You want to, you know, work yourself up that corporate ladder. You may have a different plan. But God, he's going to always provide you with what you need. It just may not be what you want. And the reason for this is because God knows what lies ahead for you. He knows what's best, but no matter what, he will always, always give you what you need. So as you start this week, I want you to remember a few things for me. So the first is the Lord is our shepherd. He is your best friend, and he will take care of you, and you are valuable to him. God will protect you. We as single moms are vulnerable. We're so vulnerable. But here's the thing, ladies, he's always got our backs. He will always take care of you. God guides us. He will always lovingly lead us in the right direction. And if you get off track, that's okay. That's okay, because God is forgiving, and you know, you can get on track anytime. It's okay if you get off track, but God will always lead you in the right direction. He will provide for you. He'll feed your soul through prayer and reading his word, and he will sustain us and provide us just what we need when we need it at the time, at that moment in time. And it may not be what we want, but he will always provide us with what we need. And whatever the burden is that you carry today, whatever your decision, the problems that you're facing, he can handle it. He can handle it if you turn it over to you, and he can help heal, and you can trust God. I'm telling you, ladies, you can trust him. I have learned how to trust him, and I'm telling you what amazing things can happen when you trust him. And he is always watching over you and will always take care of you. So thank you for joining me tonight, and I look forward to our next session together as we dig into the series Finding Hopes. And next time we'll be looking at the second verse in Psalm 23 too. So enjoy your week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and take time to spend in his word and pray to God.